Hello everyone. Welcome to next section of my video, that is iron fly. I'm going to tell you something new about iron fly in this video. So in my previous video, as you have already known, like what's an iron fly and what are different market scenarios we should implement iron fly. But here I'll tell you basically morely I'll focus more on monthly and quarterly strategies, what can be done in iron fly. And one new thing which I'll introduced here is that in Ironfly, basically how we can do weekly buying, which is not done by majority of, because Ironfly, most of the people do buy the strangle for the same expiry where they have sold their particular straddles. So here I'll show you like what difference it makes, like buying a weekly strangle compared to a monthly one. And then we'll see the option chain, how the combined premiums are calculated, and based on the combined premiums, how we choose the OTM buy options. And moreover, I'll show you something on the basket order as well. So let's see what are topics we are going to cover in this video. As I mentioned, we'll see about monthly and quarterly positions. So here I'll tell you how we can create a monthly and a quarterly positions in which all index options. It goes well to do a monthly, it goes well to do a quarterly positions. And then we'll see the most important part of making this video is the weekly buying OTM strangle. So how we do a weekly buying here, and what impact it makes taking a weekly buying compared to a monthly strangles. Then we'll see option chain for choosing different options, and how basically combined premium is calculated, and based on that combined premium how we select our OTM strangles for hedging. Then comes the basket order. So basket order I have put in the slides because in my previous video, many of you have asked like how we create a basket order, and is it possible to buy this OTM hedge positions, because some of the brokers doesn't allow like Zerodha. So I'll just show you how we can do it using a basket order. So let's move to our next slide. Now comes the monthly. So in monthly we have, so if we take a monthly iron fly, so what all index options should we consider? Should we go with Nifty or should we go with Bank Nifty? So for monthly, it's particularly depends on your personal choice. How comfortable are you with any of this? Like many of the people are trading mostly in Nifty because they are comfortable. They know all the stock options, which is impacting Nifty, and many of the masses know bank nifty very well because they are tracking the banking stocks very well, and they know how the bank nifty is moving. So it's particularly your personal choice. You can go with nifty as well as bank nifty in a monthly expiry for ironfly, because both have a good liquidity and good premium values. So this depends particularly on your choice. So one thing I wanted to say for the monthly one is that if you want to take monthly, so how the monthly thing goes. So for monthly, like today is 16th of September, so we will, if we want to take a month, so we'll take for next month, that is October. So October last, that is 28th October, we'll go for 28th October expiry, and we'll create our positions for 28th October expiry. So that's a monthly, we can say iron fly. Then comes the quarterly. So quarterly, you must be wondering why I have kept only Nifty. So for quarterly, that is for 3 months, it's always better you create that positions in Nifty, because Nifty has good liquidity compared to Bank Nifty. So it's always advisable that you should go with Nifty if you are going with a quarterly iron fly. and the adjustments can be done little easily because in Nifty, as you know, is not getting very volatile compared to Bank Nifty. And the liquidity, most important is the liquidity. So the liquidity is very good in Nifty for quarterly and fly options. So this is how I do for monthly as well as quarterly. So let's go to the next one. Now comes the option chain. Now, what's the difference between a weekly and monthly buying? So through the option chain, I'll show you what's the difference between a weekly and a monthly buying. So let's go to our option chain. I'll show you in option chain how we can select the weekly and monthly buying. So let's move there. So yeah, so I'll just tell you so how we can do select the premium values and how we can basically do a weekly buying. So now the Bank Nifty, as it's trading around 36,800, that's the value right now for Bank Nifty. So if we are trying to do a monthly and fly, so what we will do, we will do a straddle, that is the put and call for this one. We'll sell a put and call of 36,800, and we will buy OTM for the same for combined premium. So combined premium. So let me show you in the option chain. So first we will do, if we see want to do a weekly buying. So in weekly buying is today is 16th September. So next week is 23rd September. 23rd September we will do. And one is the expiry, the same expiry buying. So when we buy the hedge, that is of 28th October. That is the monthly one which we are going to do for next month. So this is we are going to do for 28th of October. So let's go and see in our option chain how it looks, and then we'll come back here again and see what impact it make over a weekly buying compared to a monthly buying. So let's go back to our monthly option chain. Yeah, so here I am in the Opstra chart, so Opstra option chain. So let's go for 28th October expiry. Here I have already selected a Bank Nifty as the index option. So let's go for 36,800. So if we see here, yeah, 36,800. So it is trading around 736. That is the put option. And how much is the call option? 36,800 call option is around 1032. So let's go and put this one in our, so how much is the total? It comes out around 1700. So let me mark it there. So as you can see, I'll put it, so for 36,800, straddle value comes out to be, the put option is around 736 and the call is around 1032. The combined premium comes out to be, combined premium, that is the sum of both this, comes out to be around 1700 points. 1700, that means we have to buy hedge 1700 points from this particular spot price. So 1700, so if we see the 1700 point from 36,800, it comes out to be, so the OTM hedge will be so 36,800 minus 1700, so it comes out to be, for put side we have to take 35,100, and for call side will be around 38,700. So that will be, sorry, it will be 38,500. So this is the my OTM head. So let's go and see in option chain how much is this weekly and in monthly, and what impact does it make. So as you can see in the option chain, so for 35 100 put option, so you can see I have selected 28th October as the expiry. So monthly expiry, let's see what's the premium values. So for 35 100 it's 269, and for the next one is 38 500, that is around trading around 343. So these are the monthly options, and the next one we will go with the weekly one. So if we buy the options for next week as a hedge, 23rd of September, so let's see what's the difference. So for 35 100 the trading price for put is 26 rupees, and for 38 500 it's around 29 rupees. So let's go and write this up and see how, what difference does it make there. So as we have seen the weekly buying, so for the OTM premium values were around uh, 21 for put and 29 for the call, and for 28th October the premium values were around 269 and 343. So if you see here, when you buy a hedge, so how much you have to pay from your own pocket. So when you go with the weekly one, you have to pay around 50 rupees for this weekly buying. But when you comes in the monthly buying, so how much you have to pay? You have to pay more than 550 rupees for the monthly one. So it goes from your pocket 550 rupees. So this 550 gets deducted from your the total points what you have collected in the straddle. So already your range is reduced. So 1700 minus 500 if we do, so it comes out to be like 1200 points. So 1200 points is only the range for the market to move for you. So it's preferable that you go with the weekly buying because it gives you the same protection from any kind of market crash, and it gives you the margin benefit as well. So this is how we do a weekly buying and monthly buying. So I'll show you more how the margin is calculated using this, but as per as the hedge is compared, so it will give you protection against your positions that is created for iron fly. So let's see how what are the pros and cons of weekly buying. I'm not saying that you should go 100% with the weekly buying. It depends on your choice. So I'll just show you how it is in weekly buying and what difference it makes in a weekly buying. So let's see in our next slide. So as we have seen the option chain and how the options value are we calculate the premium combined premium value. So let's see what difference it makes in weekly buying OTM strangle. So when you buy a weekly strangle for hedge, and so the prices as I have shown you are much lower than the monthly one, so you have to pay less from your pocket, and then it provides almost the same margin benefit. So this I'll show you in my next slide when I show you the basket order, how the margin benefits are almost the same when you go with a monthly and a weekly buying. The gray areas, now comes the gray areas. So the gray areas are, you have to keep a check every week in squaring your weekly positions and then taking a new positions. So this is an overhead for you again, because your weekly positions will expire every weekly. So you have to keep rolling your weekly positions. So now if I have taken for 23rd September, so on 23rd of September, I have to again take it for next week expiry. So that you have to keep rolling your positions. Then sometimes the weekly options may trade at some higher price, because if the market has moved violently in one directions and it has become completely directional, so your one side of premium might be trading more than what you have expected. So it can go like we have seen that it's around 2021, so it can go to 50 as well, or 30 40, depending on if the market has moved violently, but that's a rare scenario what happens. And then comes the some brokers which they don't allow you to buy new positions if the previous positions are not squared off. What does it mean? So people who are using zero dha may know that Zerodha doesn't allow you to buy OTM hedge positions if you don't have that much of sold positions in your account. So if you have sold like one lot of Bank Nifty, so you can buy only one lot of Bank Nifty as a hedge, but it will not allow more than that. So when you square off your position every week, so it might create overhead for you. It might be that your fund balance can be negative, because when you're squaring off, because once you square off, then only you can take a new position. So it's always suggestible to keep little bit surplus amount in your account, that so that you don't face the margin issues. So that's again a gray area for weekly buying. So I think this is quite clear for the weekly buying, why we do weekly buying and what impact it makes compared to the monthly buying. So next go move to our next slide. So the basket order. So here I'll tell you how you create a basket order and what all things you should consider creating a basket order. So let's go and create a basket order in our Zerodha and see and choose the same options what we have selected, and see what difference it makes. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new basket for Bank Nifty. So let's create a Bank Nifty basket. So creating, and let me select. So first we'll go with selecting the straddles 36,800 for 28th of October, this one. So let's sell it. So it's trading around 1032. Bank Nifty 36,800p option. So this is again trading around 736. That's perfectly fine. So this is added. So one thing I need to show you before I add the hedge positions. So the margin, final margin is around 1,30,000. So this much amount should be in your trading account to take this particular trade. So don't go with the hedge, like how much margin is required after the hedge, because it's always advisable to keep this much amount in your bank account when you are trying to take the put and call options together, and then the hedge will obviously protect you, give you margin benefits. Now let's see and add a monthly hedge first. So if I had add a monthly hedge, so we have 35,100 on the put side for monthly one. So let me add this one. So yeah, and this is added. And let me add the call side as well. 38,500 is the call side. So this is added. So as you can see, the total margin is around 47,000. So this has reduced your margin drastically, but you have to pay around 550, more than 550 from your pocket. And so this is for the monthly one. Now let's see what impacts it make when we take a weekly one. I'll delete this and I'll go with a weekly. 35,100 for next week. Add Bank Nifty 38,500. Okay. As you can see, I have added the weekly one and I have to pay around like little bit more than 50 rupees, and the margin comes out to be 55,000. So earlier the margin was around 47,000. Now it comes out to be 55,000. So it's around 8k difference, but it doesn't make a much difference, but you only have to pay 50 rupees from your own pocket, and it gives you the same protection as the monthly one. So this is the main difference a monthly and a weekly option buying makes. And again, I'm saying it's your personal choice how you want to go with it, but I have shown you how it impacts when you take a monthly one and when you take a weekly one. And again, the gray areas as well, like the brokers like Zerodha doesn't allow you, and every week you have to square off this weekly position and take a new positions. So that can create a margin impact in your trading account if you don't have sufficient balance once you square off these positions. So all these things has to be taken into consideration when you are doing a weekly one. So this is all I want to tell on the weekly thing. So let's move our next slide. If so, as you have seen, I have told you like how we can create a basket order, what all things we should consider while creating a basket order. So in my next video, as I know many of you are requesting for a adjustment video, so I'll definitely come up with the adjustment videos. But before adjustment, you should know how you should enter a particular trade. So I'll come up with the entry video, like how in which market scenarios and what all things you should consider while entering into an iron flight strategy. And then we'll move to the adjustment, obviously. So hope you like the video. So yeah, so let's meet in our next video. Till then, thank you and see you in my next video.